All right, Huntsville, Texas, a very pleasant good morning to you, and welcome to another edition of Good Morning Huntsville. We are live from Huntsville Family Dental, and I'm here as always with my good friend, Dr. Gerald Pressley. Dude, I missed you last week, man.
We missed a week.
I know y'all were busy, had things going on. I was down with Elliot Herzlich from Elliot's Jewelers. We did the show, but that's what it's all about, man. We got an opportunity to kind of hop around, visit with different folks, and I'll be honest, I'm happy I'm back here with you. I had a lot of fun last week with Elliot, but also very glad to be back with you, man.
Good to have you, Rob, always, man.
Well, as always, we want to welcome everybody in here this morning. I already know that our good buddy Joshua Harris from the Oak Ridge Disciple House just north of the Austin area is joining us, and this show is all about the good that's happening in Huntsville, Texas. And so I just want to encourage you this morning, if you've got some thoughts, maybe let us know what you're dealing with this morning and what's going on. We'd love to hear from you. This show is all about just interacting with folks and bringing people in. And as I get started, I always have to do a little IT check in the background because, you know, we're self-producing here, man.
That's right.
So, well, it's a fun morning. It's 8:09 a.m. Coming up a little bit later, we're going to have a good guest, Taylor Morrison from the Good Shepherd Mission. She's on the board of directors that'll be joining us. And so I want you to be part of that as well. You can hear more about what they're doing. A lot of great things going on with that organization as well. And, you know, we were blessed here in Huntsville, man. I was supposed to broadcast baseball last night for Sam Houston, and whenever they have the ESPN production, I have to sit outside. And so I was a little bit concerned because there was no overhang, and I'll bring my own canopy, do whatever I have to do. I've honestly never missed a broadcast because of rain, but there was just not an opportunity to have a canopy. They didn't have it set up to where we could sit under any type of awning.
Yeah.
And so
how'd you make it work?
Media rights company there right before the game decided a couple hours before, said, hey, let's just push it and we'll do the game tomorrow.
Okay.
So we didn't get to broadcast that game yesterday versus Rice, but we're going to broadcast tonight versus UTSA. So it's busy, man.
Busy.
People on my Facebook probably get tired because it says I go live all the time, man. You know? So, but it's fun, man. We enjoy doing this, and of course, we enjoy bringing this show to everybody out there on the social media feeds as well. So, looking forward to a fun morning, man.
Yeah, man, me too.
So, what's been going on with you? How have things been? What have you been up to?
Everything's going good, man. The kids are finishing up school this year. I tell you, man, this year's just flown by. You know, here we are already in April.
It's unbelievable. April the 13th. When's your birthday, man?
My birthday is March 1st. I just celebrated a birthday.
Did we have a show like around your birthday that we missed?
I want to say that we had a show after my birthday.
Man,
we missed it.
We should have mentioned it, man, because somebody would have brought us cake. I'm always a believer that if somebody out there is listening, I was joking around when I did the show in Georgetown, I seriously was joking around one time, and I said, man, I wish somebody would bring us some food. I'm hungry, man. I kid you not. And this is when I had my IT company, so we did it in the lobby of my IT company before we opened in the mornings. And back then, man, it wasn't a little 1 hour doozy. We're talking 3 hours. We went on from 5 to 8 a.m. And I was joking around one morning with my buddy Ken Covington, and I said, Ken, I wish somebody just bring us some food. And people knew where we were at. We had about 1,500 folks that engaged in that show. It was awesome. Yeah. And somebody out there just heard that message, man, and they wanted to receive it, and they literally brought us food. Like an hour later, I had somebody knocking. I was like, man, awesome. Customers, we ain't open right now. What are y'all doing? I realized somebody brought us a big old thing of breakfast tacos, man.
That's crazy.
So if there's somebody out there, don't worry about the food this morning, man. What's your daily? I got to ask you, man. We've got to know each other a little bit, so we're just going to take it. We're going to take it up a notch, a little personal
definitely.
Dig in here to Dr. Presley this morning. He's like, where are you going, Rob? What's your ritual in the morning, man? From being a dentist, I've always wanted to know this. I mean, you got to get it. You've got to be in a good routine. Otherwise,
you do.
Tell us your routine, man. Like the night before? What time are you going to bed? What are you doing, man? And then how do you get up?
I try to get down by 11 p.m. And then usually I'm up. Usually about 5. I told my friends I'm part of the 5 a.m. club, and so first thing I do is I drink my water. Take my pre-workout, and I go straight to my garage. That's where my gym is. That's where I work out. So from 5 to 6:15, that's my self-therapy. So that's my time. The kids are asleep, the wife's asleep, and I pump it out.
You're good to go, man.
And once I do that, I can handle anything that comes my way the rest of the day.
Man, is that like, do you do it on the weekends too, or just during the week?
I do.
7 days a week, 6
well,
days a week?
I usually take about 1 to 2 days off in a week. It's good to rest your body.
Now, obviously, man, you focus on a lot of upper body too, man.
Yeah, I do lower body as well.
Awesome.
You can't skip leg day.
Yeah, that's right, man. How do you have the discipline? Because I guarantee there's somebody out there this morning that's saying, and I'll be honest, man, I've gotten into a semi-routine, and I've always said that busy people are usually successful, but what really defines that success even greater is those that really get into a hard-cut routine. Yeah. I'm in kind of a semi-routine, man.
And that's what it's all about, is just getting into a routine where you're having a set schedule where you're doing, so you're just keeping yourself accountable, and once you do that, that becomes habit. And so once a habit forms, just like anything else, you're always doing it. So that's the biggest thing for me, is just wanting to be the best and wanting to, put your best foot forward. And it's not for me, that's like my morning coffee. I have to get that workout. If I don't get that workout in, my body's like, hey, are we sick? What's going on? So it's just part of my routine, part of my habit.
So you just do it right there at the house in the garage?
Right there at the house.
See, you don't need a gym membership, man. So
don't waste your money.
Dr. Presley charged $50 a month to come to his gym. No, your wife probably wouldn't appreciate random people showing up at your house, man. Well, we're talking this morning, Dr. Presley here at Huntsville Family Dental. It's just kind of cool just to kind of hear behind the scenes, because that's what it's all about, man. We like to. We know what you do for the most part as a dentist, but it's behind the scenes, and folks, they can kind of relate to that, saying, man, I'm a business professional. How can I structure my routine in the morning? Right. For you, family life as being a dentist, what is that like, man? How does that kind of work? And you've got kiddos, two kiddos.
I got 2 kids.
So how does that kind of flow, man?
8 and 6, and they're involved in activities, and that's the main reason why I do my workouts in the morning, because I get off work. I'm all about the kids. I'm just like, their activities take precedent over everything. So it's just making time for them, make sure they, make sure dad's around, make sure he's still fun to be around. But, they're getting involved in different activities, which is exciting, because it's just great, just being a dad.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, it's I'm going through that right now with my little girl, man, coming up here in 4 days. She's going to be 5 months old. And it's so cool. As a dad, it's cool because when you hold them, when they're little, I was so nervous because of the head, man. I was so worried about like the head breaking or something because it is. I mean, it just kind of flops around.
They're tougher than you think.
Yeah, and I started thinking though, if you trace back our lineage or whatever, the ancestry, you go all the way back. I mean, somewhere along the way, we were like in a cave or something, man. And you think about those mamas.
Oh man, it's a different story.
Yeah, they had a lot to deal. Mamas and daddies back then, man, it was crazy. And so if they could handle them, we can sure handle them with all the advancements we have now.
Exactly.
But the kid starts holding their head up, and it makes it more fun. And now we're kind of tossing her up and down, and it's really cool when you get to that point.
That's
man.
right. You wait till you come in the door, and then your daughter just runs to you. Daddy, that's the best feeling.
What age does that start, man?
Oh, man.
I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Maybe two, 3.
And then they start that.
Yeah, it's all best feeling in the world.
Well, Dr. Pressley, we're talking again. Dr. Pressley this morning here on Good Morning Huntsville. I want to welcome everybody in. Have a few folks joining us. As I mentioned earlier, my good buddy Joshua Harris over at Oak Ridge joining us in this morning. And if you're out there in Huntsville, let us know you're out there, man. We love to hear from you. We want to know what's going on. What are you thankful for this morning? This show is all about you and the community. It's all powered by KSAM Radio, but we do it right here on Facebook Live and every Wednesday and Thursday. In fact, tomorrow morning we're going to be live from Farmhouse Cafe for the weekly chamber breakfast. I'll be there with Elliot Herzlich. We're going to get on at 7 a.m., though, so we don't interrupt that breakfast. And we're going to talk to Ray Hernandez and some other folks. So it's a good show. It's a lot of fun, and we enjoy doing it. Dr. Pressley, I got to ask you one other thing, man.
Yeah.
We're going to talk canker sores today, but we'll get into that in a minute. But, as far as your career, being a dentist, what's been the most rewarding thing for you, man? And just talk about that, and then I've got another question to kind of follow up behind that.
Like I said, we've touched on this before, is the most rewarding thing is just giving back to people. I've had so many people in my life that have invested. I've been lucky where I had a lot of positive influences, and people invested into me. And to be able to take that now and then be able to invest in other people and to pour into others. That's the most rewarding thing, and I do that with dentistry. So
that's awesome. I always believe that we are truthfully given talents when we're born. It's just it's a God-given birthright that we all have talents, and this show is all about inspiring and lifting up people. I'm going to tell you this morning, there's somebody out there watching that says, I don't feel like I'm utilizing my talents, or I don't have a talent. I'm going to tell you and challenge you to this, that you do have a talent. It doesn't matter if you talk to one person or 100 people, or you're like Dr. Pressley, to where you have patience, but everything, and patience and patience. Patience and patience, right?
That's right.
Or is it? You pronounce it the same way?
The same way.
Yeah, that's one of those. What do you call those? There's a term for that.
There is a term for that.
If you know what that term is of a word that is the same but different,
has a different meaning,
different meanings, let me know, because I forget the term for that.
Yeah.
But you have patience, and so you're able to interact with those patients and bring your talent, and you lift them up through what you do. People come in, they got bad teeth. You fix their teeth. They're smiling. The confidence goes through the roof. Right. That's kind of like your own little ministry in here, man.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm blessed to have that. So it's wonderful, man.
Well, again, Dr. Pressley, this morning, canker sores.
Let's
dig in, man. What causes them? Because I get
they hurt, don't they?
Yes, they do. What causes canker sores, man?
Well, a lot of people think they're from bacteria or viral or anything like that. And it's not. It's basically from just irritation. And a lot of times, we don't really know. The scientists really don't really know the etiology of why they come about, but it's thought it's performed by irritation of the tissues in the mouth. And so you get these sores at the base of your mouth, and they stay around for about 2 weeks. Most of the time they go away, but they're just a pain to deal with.
That's weird, man. Because and where do they show? Can they be anywhere in the mouth?
They can be anywhere in your mouth. So anywhere you have any kind of injury, either you bite your cheek, if you got braces, if you got the wire that's rubbing, if you have an ill-fitting denture, anything like that, it can be anywhere, on the tongue, anywhere.
Have you ever heard of things? So when I was a kid, when you're a kid, you're kind of like, you have your tongue and you're up on the roof of your mouth and you're like, what is all that? And then you start putting your fingers in your mouth and it feels like there's teeth all over. It feels like scales up there, man. Right. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Maybe you're like, Rob, you're weird, man. Nobody ever told me. What is that up there, man?
Well, that's your hard palate. And so that's just let's call it the rugae and the hard palate. It's just the anatomy of the palate.
The rugae. That sounds like something from Baton Rouge or something, man. It's got that Louisiana flavor to it, man. A little rugae. That sounds like something you eat, man.
Right.
I'm gonna get some of that rugae when I get off work. So, well, that's cool, man. Because and you think about, we talked about this in the show earlier too. Your what do you call them? Your kiddo teeth, your baby teeth, your baby teeth. Baby teeth, they come out. Are your teeth? They're all up in there, ready to push down, right?
Well, they're forming, yeah. So those teeth, even as a child, the adult teeth they're formed as buds, and they're still developing as you go through childhood. So when those deciduous teeth or baby teeth exfoliate, they're already really pretty much already fully formed, they're ready to come down. So it's amazing. So you're like evolving as you go. You know what I mean?
You think about our bodies and just how we're designed, and I mean, it's amazing all of the things that take place. Like your body, the way we were designed, knows when to stop growing.
That's right.
Your body knows when your fingernails are growing. Your body knows, like your hair, man. It's just so neat to think about all those things.
We're intricate machines.
And I think about like your arm hair and stuff, man. You know, some people have it, some people don't. Some men have really long, even women have long arm hair. Some people don't. I've always been fascinated. I don't even see. This is why I tell you we don't have a plan when we go on the show, because you never thought we were going to be talking about arm hair for dental.
Not at all.
I've always been fascinated of like, how does your arm hair just know? Like, how does it stop growing?
It's amazing.
Some people it don't though.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. Just to think of how intricate we are.
You think about all those things, and you really can sit there all day and just focus on those kind of things, but you're not going to get much work done, so don't do that. So one thing that a lot of folks have problems with, and I do this, man, at least once a month, and when it happens, I get really upset. It's one of those things, we're going to talk about that too. I want the audience out there this morning, start thinking about things that make you mad that shouldn't make you mad, because that's our segment here with Dr. Presley when we do the show here at Huntsville Family Dental. But I bite my cheeks, man, and it happens at the most inopportune. It's always not a good thing,
right?
But I mean, I'll just be chewing gum and it happens. What causes that, and how can you try to prevent that? Is there anything you can do?
I don't think there's anything that you can prevent. As far as just biting your cheek, it's just one of the occurrences. Everybody deals with it. It's just what you're doing after the fact. Sometimes you get like the irritation. Sometimes you get the sores involved with it, and there's some treatment that you can do. But I mean, you know what, Rob? I don't think that you can really avoid it. Tongue's just this animal in your mouth, and it's just moving, slashing everywhere. so sometimes you catch him.
So what do you do? And I'll be honest, like I never use medicine on the inside of my mouth for anything like that. What do you do to help that heal quicker, man?
So for canker sores, things of that nature, sores inside the mouth, best thing is regular salt water. That's the best thing that we recommend. Now, there's some topical analgesics that we use, like have benzocaine in them, which deadens the nerve endings, and that just gives you some relief. So it's not going to cure you, but it's going to give you some relief. Also, you can take some acetaminophen, you can take ibuprofen, anti-inflammatories, things of that nature to kind of help those injuries in your mouth.
It's weird to think about because we're taught so much when we get wounds on the exterior of our body, the chance of bacteria and all that thing, and the infection risk that can happen. In fact, I heard of a story of a young man who had a weird like blood clot infection, and he ended up passing away from that. It was his arm. It was a very tragic story, a very great young man that I didn't know personally, but I knew people connected to him. And you think about your mouth, there's got to be so much bacteria in there. So how does those canker sores with like me, never putting anything on them, I mean, how do they stay healthy and heal?
Well, it's not a whole lot of types of bacteria in your mouth. So
Really?
You think about a sore that's on your arm, it's open to the external environment. So something in your mouth. So some of the fastest wounds that you can have, or the healing wounds, are inside the mouth. And so that's why I say when you cut your lip, you notice it for a couple of days, and all of a sudden you forget about it because it's healed. And so that's one of the fastest growing or fastest healing parts of your body.
They talk, I know dental, and if this doesn't go down the dental path, let me know, but they talk about like the tongue is the strongest muscle in the body. Have you heard of that story before?
I haven't.
Someone said that the tongue. So I was, when I was a kid, someone told me that, and I was thinking, man, I'm gonna put some heavy weights on this bad boy, see if I can live. Because dude, I could not. In junior high and high school, it was bad. I actually quit football in 9th grade. I don't encourage people to quit anything unless you know that you shouldn't do it. It's like if you're 3 feet and you have aspirations to dunk on a 10-foot goal. Man, I love you. I believe through God anything is possible, but I'm telling you today, if you're 3 feet, God did not intend for you to dunk a basketball. So that's going to be out of the question if it's at 10 feet.
That's right.
But I remember, man, as a kid, just thinking about those things and all of the things that we go through in life and how our body reacts. And it's just really neat to think about, man. So going down that path, and I don't want to go down the wrong path, with you being a dentist, but mono, man. Do you, as a dentist, do you ever have to be concerned about somebody that comes in that has something such as mono or
any other
or any other type of illness like that?
I guess as dentists and professionals, we have what we call universal precautions. So, the mask has always been in place. Hand washing, things of that nature have always been in place. Obviously, when you're in that close quarters with individuals, you're kind of more susceptible to developing or getting that. But that's the risk you take. I mean, this is what you do, as a provider, as a dentist. So you're willing to take that risk, and you don't think much about it. You You kind of focus more on your work and focus more on helping the patient, and you just kind of know on the back burner that those things are possibilities, but you don't focus on them.
I remember as a kid one time, it's funny how we have all these stories when we were a kid. Everything's so magical when you're a kid.
Yeah.
And then the magic, I'll be honest, it kind of goes away because then you start realizing like, nah, that dude, that's not really real. It's an illusion. But then you have kids and the magic comes back because you want to show them magic. Like we were out to eat the other day and for my birthday and my little nephew, he was at the table in front of us, and I kept telling him because the little kids don't get it yet, which is cool. That's the awesome thing about the innocence of a kid is they don't catch on to certain things. And so I was like, Oakland, turn around. So he turned around, and then I took a chip and I put it in my napkin and I folded over the napkin. And I said, oh, never mind, look at this. And I went like this with my hands, and then I said, boom. He goes, oh, look at that chip. And then I told him to turn around again, and he turned around, and then I took the chip out. And then I was like, whoa, he disappeared, So, but, going back to being a little kid, I bounce all over the place because ADD, and I don't even have coffee. If I had coffee, it'd be terrible in the morning. But I go back to being a kid, man, and I remember when I got a haircut one time, I had pink eye.
Oh, wow.
So we got halfway through the haircut, and I tell the lady, and I'll remember City Barbershop in Georgetown, downtown. I'm talking old school before the chain barbershops came around. Every town had that guy in town. Right. We have those guys here in Huntsville. Everywhere you go, they got that guy in town. It's the barber or lady. And I remember this particular lady was cutting my hair one day, and halfway through it, I was kind of scratching my eye. She goes, your eye okay? And I was like, no, ma'am, I have pink eye. She stopped cutting my hair. She goes, it's state law. It's against the law for me to cut your hair. And I'm like, there's no law about that. I knew better as a kid. But she quit cutting my hair, man. Because
highly contagious.
Yeah. So, take care of yourself. Be honest with people, man. You got something going on. Don't show up. Get well, then come in, man. I do have a question this morning. My beautiful fiance, Bridget, is messaging in this morning. She said, is it bad to keep your wisdom teeth if they cause no pain? That's a good question.
It's a great question. A lot of times with the wisdom teeth, they come in straight. If you're able to take care of them, if you're able to keep the gum tissue healthy around them, there's no reason why you can't keep them. A lot of times what happens is that these guys, the way they come in, they cause problems with the teeth that you already have. Either they're repositioning teeth or they're in a position where they're causing irritation, gum problems. And so it's going to do you can't really get to them because the access is hard to clean them. So these are usually the first teeth to rot, to get cavities. So in most individuals, they have to remove those wisdom teeth. But it's not an all for everybody. So if you're able to keep those teeth clean and they're in a good position, I've known people that have been in their 70s, 80s who still have their wisdom teeth and they're clean as a whistle.
It's weird. When mine started coming in, it forced a lot of crowding because I guess I had like a small mouth. What do you call I guess in your jaw? What do you call where your teeth are? What does that call? Your jaw?
Yeah, so it's the alveolar bone around your teeth. Yes, just your jaw. This is your mandible. This is your maxilla. So that's it's all part of your jaw.
Dude, I'm amazed. I knew that you would know exactly what I was talking about when I said, because I don't know the words to it, so that's awesome, man. But my teeth started getting so crowded, and they said, well, we can break your jaw. And me being and this was in my mid-20s, but I like to, publicly speak and those kind of things. And I was like, they said, you won't be able to talk for a few
6 weeks. Yeah. They were going to
more
reset your jaw.
Yeah, because they have to wire you shut.
Yeah.
I said, I can't go down that path, man. I said,
it's extreme.
I said, the good Lord didn't intend for that to happen.
Unless you're having problems, we don't really, advocate that. Unless it's really affecting your quality of life. A lot of people get by with having, not perfect jaws.
Yeah.
Everybody's, we're all imperfect.
Well, they told me, so we ended up doing a thing where they pulled my bicuspids.
Okay.
I never even knew what that word was. And so they pulled, and it was painless. I mean, you go in, you hear all that crunching. I'm going to tell you this morning, you're scared of the dentist. We've talked about this on the show before. You hear all that crunching and all that stuff. Look, man, they put anesthetics in there. You're not going to feel much.
Yeah, no.
I mean, my dad told me when I was a kid, he pinched my arm. He said it feels like a little pinch. And he was right. Yeah. When they put the needle in, it's a pinch, and then boom, it goes numb. But I remember they were pulling on them teeth, got them all out, and then I had these 4 big gaps right there, and they said, when you get your braces, all that will fill in. And so I was 26 years old getting brisket in my braces, man. But it's the best decision I ever made.
Really?
But because I didn't get my jaw broken or whatever they do, it doesn't line up.
The bite's not.
Yeah, the bite doesn't line up, which is okay for me,
That's
man.
right.
So,
That's right.
Everybody's got their own type of bite. I've just got a little crooked bite, but that's all right,
Makes
man.
you unique.
So, well, thank you for that question, Bridget.
Yes.
If anyone else out there this morning has those questions, make sure to let us know. We have our good friend Taylor Morrison. She is in the green room, as we call it. We just can't bring Taylor anything to eat or drink back there in that green room because it's virtual, but we're going to bring her on here in a few minutes. I want to remind you this morning, thanks for joining us as you're waking up. 77 degrees here in beautiful Huntsville, Texas, out at the municipal airport. Today, 40% chance of rain. Some of that could be mixed with severe thunderstorms before 2 p.m. A high of 86. It is starting to get hot, and we dodged a bullet yesterday, man. There was a lot of severe weather around us.
Yes, we did.
So I grew up in the Austin area and was blessed to come to Huntsville several years ago. I want to show you a clip. Here's a news story from WFAA up in Dallas. So I grew up in Georgetown, which is 26 miles north of Austin, our state capital. Salado is a little town about 30 minutes north of there. And you go 15 minutes back north of Georgetown is a town called Gerald. And unfortunately, in May the 27th of 97, was one of the most tragic tornadoes in the history anywhere. And that was an F5. And in fact, it's still to this day the last F5 tornado that has ever hit the state of Texas. You got to go all the way back to 97. I hope we don't see it again. But those folks are always on edge up there. I've got a lot of good friends. And I don't have the clips and the videos, but there were people in Gerald, and now for the second time in a month, they have had a tornado go through that area again. And this time, though, that storm went up to the Salado area. Here's that clip from WFAA up in the Dallas area. We're going to show that to you now. Yeah, and I know there's no sound on this. I was trying to get that sound to come through on here. But what they're showing here, I mean, this was the storm damage yesterday up in Salado. And when I talk about dodging a bullet, man, I mean, we dodged one. And up in that area, you know, I've got friends in that Salado area, Dr. Pressley, and luckily all of them are okay. But I believe there was about 10 or 12 homes that were damaged in that storm. And then on top of that, there was about 20 or so people injured. One of them, several people had to go to the hospital, one critically injured. And so, you know, our thoughts and prayers this morning go out to those friends in Salado. And the reason I brought that up is because, you know, we were impacted here about a month ago in the Madisonville area and all that. Tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing. Y'all are still collecting items for those to help folks around this area.
Any kind of clothing items, any kind of food items. We have boxes here at the office, so we're just trying to do our part and just trying to help out, you know, in the face of tragedy. So hearts go out to those people as well.
Yeah, so make sure that if you get a chance, come by Huntsville Family Dental, drop off those items, and they are here to receive those items, and we'll get it taken care of. Hey, we're approaching 8:32. We're going to step aside. We're going to take a break, and as promised, we've got our good friend, Miss Taylor Morrison, in the background. We're going to bring her up here in just a few minutes. She is on the board with the Good Shepherd Mission. They do such great work here in Huntsville. We're going to let her talk a little bit more about Good Shepherd and a really important event that's coming up to benefit them and also what they do to benefit the community. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us, friends, as we continue it right here. It's your show, Good Morning Huntsville. We'll be back in a moment.
Hello friends, I'm Rob Hipp, and here's today's inspiration about don't be disappointed. Proverbs 3:5 in the New Living Translation reads, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding." Today, you may have disappointment on your mind. You didn't get that job you were hoping for. Your finances aren't in order. You've slipped on your health journey. You're in a relationship that's faltering. Someone close to you let you down. Friends, today I encourage you to remember God's word. We are told to trust in the Lord with all our heart. Not a part of it, but all of our heart. There are situations in life that we simply cannot understand, no matter how hard we try. When we face disappointment, two things can happen. We can choose to dwell on the unknowns and continue down that path, or we can turn to God. Thank God daily for His blessings upon your life. You may say, well, there's nothing really going my way. No, the fact that you woke up today is a blessing in itself. That's a start. Don't be disappointed. For previous messages and to share today's inspiration with a friend, visit today'sinspiration.org.
Huntsville Family Dental is accepting new patients. Experienced dentists that are focused on the community and your family helps ensure a pleasant, anxiety-comforted dental experience. Only $49 for exam and x-rays for new cash patients. Feel at home at Huntsville Family Dental. From the friendly front office to the dedicated back chair, all your questions will be answered and you will leave with a smile and comfort knowing your dental needs have been addressed. Just smile. Call Huntsville Family Dental at 295-5437. That's 295-5437.
Here's the sports broadcast calendar brought to you by Huntsville Family Dental. Sam Houston baseball hosts UTSA tonight, pregame at 6:15 p.m., first pitch at 6:30. Lady Hornets softball hosts Nacogdoches on Thursday, pregame at 5:15 p.m., first pitch at 5:30. Hornet baseball travels to Nacogdoches on Thursday, pregame at 6:45 p.m., first pitch at 7. Enjoy our broadcast coverage of these games at ksam1017.com. And that's your sports broadcast calendar.
All right, friends, so let's get back at it. 8:35 here on a muggy morning in Huntsville, Texas. Thanks for waking up with us. If you were supposed to be at work at 8 a.m., you're already late. You probably got that pink slip on your desk this morning if you didn't show up, right, Dr. Pressley?
I hope not.
So, hey, I want to ask you one other question,
Yeah.
man. For you being a dentist, I mean, are you in charge of the staff here and all that too? Do you have to do all that administrative stuff, or do you have like a corporate that helps with that?
We have a corporate that helps with all of that, but we all work together. We're a team.
Y'all have a great team here, by the
do.
way. When I
We
come
do.
in the morning, the girls are so friendly, and I know that they're coming in early, and on days like today, you kind of got to adjust your schedule just a little bit.
Exactly.
And but man, they are so awesome. You got to come by here and see them. It's Huntsville Family Dental, located right off 45. You just come down Montgomery, right around the corner, and it literally took me 2 minutes from KSAM to get over here.
That's
so,
right.
So
We're
it's a
right
good place
there.
to be.
Yeah.
Well, at this time, friends, we're going to bring on our good friend this morning. We appreciate her so patiently waiting in the background, Miss Taylor Morrison. She is on the board with the Good Shepherd Mission. And before we bring her on, just a quick about the Good Shepherd Mission. Followers of the teachings of Christ, they help hundreds of children, elderly and disabled, to have a higher quality of life and empower the working poor. Good Shepherd Mission, a 501c3 nonprofit organization that's serving meals here in the community and much, much more. I don't want to steal the thunder, though, because I know that Taylor can tell us a lot more about it. Good morning, Taylor. So pleasant to have you today. How you doing, Taylor?
Good morning. The discussion about wisdom teeth removal certainly was taking me back to my traumatic experience with that. So it's exciting to hear all of the wonderful things y'all got going on over there at the dentist's office. So
yeah,
thanks for having
Taylor,
me.
we appreciate you. I had a chance to sit down with Monica over at Bay's Achievement, and she connected me to you, and proud to have you, coming to Rotary now, and just wanted to talk more about Good Shepherd Mission. You sit on the board with this wonderful organization. I've got to know some of you guys pretty well there that are associated. Tell us just a little bit more about you first, how you got connected to this area, and then dig right into the Good Shepherd Mission.
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to. So I actually grew up here in Huntsville. I moved off for college and graduate school, as one does. And in the course of graduate school work, I actually worked with an emergency women's shelter for about 2 years in Denver, Colorado. So homelessness and housing insecurity has always been something that's been particularly close to my heart, and is where my academic background connects with. But then I made my way back to Huntsville, much to my family's happiness. And I work at the university here in town in the Center for Community Engagement, where we're able to connect community needs with university resources and work together to help the greater public good. So I am happy to be back home in Huntsville, helping the community that helped support me growing up. And I was even more thrilled whenever Dave, the executive director at the Good Shepherd Mission, reached out to me to invite me onto the board for the Good Shepherd Mission, particularly because I remember in high school volunteering there. So it's just one of those kind of really neat full circle events for me to be able to support an organization that I've kind of grown up with in a way. So
Absolutely. Well, again, this morning talking to Taylor Morrison with the Good Shepherd Mission. And Taylor, it's so inspiring to hear stories such as yours about, this is your hometown. You came back here to Huntsville. We'll talk more in a minute about the Good Shepherd. Well, that's a pretty background there. I just threw that up, little stars
Oh,
there
lovely.
this morning, putting people in the stars. But hey, so we'll talk more here in a moment about Good Shepherd Mission. But I always like to highlight our community. I mean, what to you? You grew up here, you went to school, you came back to Huntsville. What has been some of the greatest things that you've seen in this community, and what makes you so proud to be right here in Huntsville, Texas, Taylor?
Well, as a homegrown hornet, I think as we call ourselves, I am incredibly proud of the school district and all of the wonderful accomplishments they've been able to have over the past couple of years, especially with this latest bond initiative. We were able to get the community behind the schools in a meaningful way to be able to support growth and development there. So, having left and come back, Huntsville looks very different, but in its core, it's still got those small town community values and roots that are holding strong, which is so important as our community grows, that we, hold on to those hometown values, as they call them. But it's inspiring to me to see all of the wonderful changes that are happening and all of the growth in areas like nonprofit support and being able to provide opportunities to help uplift those in our community and meet needs in a variety of ways. So I'm proud of our school district, and I'm proud of the way that the university is able to work together with the community and help meet needs and work together.
Well, Taylor, just incredible work that you're here, you're back in the community in your hometown. You grew up a Hornet, as you mentioned. So many great things happening with that bond package. The trees are coming down now, and I know, look, people love trees. I get that. We got a lot of trees. We're not taking them all down, just a little bit to make room for a beautiful baseball and softball facility that our kids need. That's already starting to happen. So a lot of good changes happening there. But you start talking about all the good, and one of the greatest organizations. We have a lot of great organizations. I don't want to say one of the greatest, because all of them here in Huntsville are so great. But you're able to be on the board of Good Shepherd Mission. Tell us a little bit more just about Good Shepherd. I know you dug into it a little bit earlier, but serving the needs of our community, providing meals, and so much more. Many people know about it, but there may be somebody even from out of town. I always have a lot of friends that join us here on this show from my hometown that like to tune in and hear what's going on in Huntsville. Just educate our viewers this morning a little bit more about Good Shepherd and what you guys do.
Sure. So the Good Shepherd Mission, our main purpose is to serve those in the community who need a helping hand up and out of the situations that they're in. We do that in a variety of ways through physical ministries like feeding the hungry with hot meals. We serve 2 hot meals a day, and on average, every month, I think we serve around 2,000 meals. But in addition to the hot meals that we serve, we also work with local food bank distribution centers like the Houston Food Bank and the Trinity River Food Bank to also provide food pantry distributions to not just those who are staying at our lodging at the mission, but also just those in the community in general. We also provide opportunities for the lodgers who are staying with us, either in our women's dorm, our men's dorm, or our family facilities, to either connect with employers or provide employment counseling. They receive pastoral care through the guidance of a variety of churches who work together to help support us, and also through Dave, who is our executive director. But then in addition to that, we also provide counseling and case management services through on-site case management, but also through internship placements with the university's counseling center. So we're able to provide a well-rounded approach to help meet the needs of individuals who find themselves in moments of crisis. But one thing I didn't mention is our Bargains and Blessings thrift store, which also provides clothing and housewares and furniture. Not only do we sell items in our thrift store, but we're also able to use the items there to help support those in crisis as well. So we are able to meet so many needs of those individuals who may be facing certain challenges in life explicitly through the support of local community individuals, civic organizations, student organizations, churches. I mean, we really are a community approach to help meet those needs. So it takes a village, and it's just one of those things that, we couldn't do it alone. So
Absolutely. Well, Taylor, appreciate you kind of chiming in a little bit about the Good Shepherd mission. So many awesome things that are happening, and I talk about organizations that we wish didn't have to exist, but they do, and they have to exist because there's people with needs, and the Good Shepherd mission is doing such a great job, and under Dave's leadership and what he does in the community, and then through you guys and the board members and all that serve at Good Shepherd mission, helping to make so many lives a difference in a positive way right here in our backyard in Huntsville. For more information on Good Shepherd mission, I put it up there on the screen. I believe the website is thegsmission.org. And that is thegsmission.org. Taylor, there's somebody out there this morning that's saying, I want to get involved, I want to volunteer. How can people get connected? I know through the website, of course, but what volunteer opportunities are there with the Good Shepherd mission, and how can people get connected?
Sure. So individuals, anyone can bring any kind of skill set to the table, and we don't really limit volunteer opportunities to one specific type of volunteer scenario, but we do have needs, of course, in our thrift store in terms of volunteering with organizing items and helping getting items ready for sale. The food bank distribution also, the food pantry distribution also requires volunteer support to make it happen. But in terms of getting involved, the easiest thing to do is pick up the phone and give us a call. And we'd be more than happy to understand more about what your abilities are and what you bring to the table and what you'd like to do, and find a way that we can bring you in on our support network. So just give us a call.
Awesome. Well, Taylor, I know Dr. Pressley had a question for you as well.
Yeah,
Yes,
Taylor, I just
sure.
what are the financial needs of the organization?
Sure. So we are incredibly grateful and thankful to the individual donors who support us. That is one of our primary forms of being able to continue what we do. So donations are our main source of income, along with some grants that that do allow us to be able to make our missions possible. But on average, I just want to make sure I quote the number correctly, we roughly serve $1.7 million worth of services each year on a budget of about $300,000. So we're able to do a lot of good with a little bit of money as far as nonprofit budgets go, but that's what we're looking at. So.
Yeah, Taylor, and I'm in the process myself right now, as if I didn't have a lot of other things going on, working on founding a nonprofit of my own with some folks in the community, quite literally throughout the U.S. And so that process of just going through that, I know that there's a lot of work that has to go on behind the scenes, and to keep everything where it should be, you've got to have directors, you got to have people either sit as board members or a board of directors, and there's a lot of things that go on, and a lot of transparency to make sure a Good Shepherd mission, you can find them on GuideStar, very highly rated, with a great score, doing things the right way, doing things the ethical way, and giving back to the community. And talking about fundraising, I know that Dr. Pressley just asked about the financial needs of the organization. Nonprofits need the support of the community, not just financially, but they do need people to get involved as well. But there is a lot. You got to have money to make things work, and you guys have an event that is coming up. I want to pop that up on the screen here, but it's the all-you-can-eat crawfish and catfish coming on. I'm getting hungry early this morning already. Tell us a little bit more about this event that's happening.
Yeah, so one way that you can get involved and be a part of our support network is to come and participate at our spring fundraiser, which will be an all-you-can-eat crawfish and catfish event. It'll be Thursday, April 21st. From 5:30 to 9. We'll be serving from 6 to 7:30, and it is BYOB. We are excited to have live music from JEM Dandy Band, and we are grateful to Big E's Crawfish for catering the event. We'll have a nice lineup of silent auction items that have appeal to the whole family. Children under 8 get in free. Children 8 to 12 are $15 tickets. And then if you buy your tickets in advance, they are $30 a person. And at the door, it'll be $35. So if you're looking for a table, or for a ticket at the table, you can stop by the Good Shepherd Mission, give us a phone call. If you work on or attend Sam Houston State University, you can stop by my office at the Center for Community Engagement, and I'll be more than happy to sell you a ticket. We also are selling tickets at Cavender's on 11th Street and out at Bay's Achievement Center. So got a lot of places you can get tickets from, but one of the many ways that you can be involved in supporting the Good Shepherd mission, in addition to volunteering, is to just come out and have a great time with us, learn more about what we do, and maybe find ways that you might want to get connected, even in addition to eating crawfish with us. So.
Awesome. So that is happening on Thursday, April the 21st. That's why we wanted to bring you on, because we got plenty of time to prepare for this. 5:30 to 9 p.m. They'll be serving from 6 to 7:30. Bring your own beverages, BYOB. If you want to bring, Michelob Ultra, have at it. Go ahead and bring it. If you want to bring Coke Zero, that's what I like. That's my preferred drink of beverage. I will bring the Coke Zero. So you can, I guess, right? You don't have to just, you can bring whatever you want.
I'll be bringing Diet
great.
Coke. So.
Awesome. There you go. Yeah. So throw a little lime in that bad boy. It's all right. But again, April the 21st, people never talk about, like, I'm going to bring my own Coke Zero, man. Crawfish and catfish. Yeah. It's going to be a fun evening out at the storm shelter, at the Walker County Storm Shelter. That's a great place to have events. I did want to ask you, Taylor, are there still corporate tables that are available? I know those are $500.
You can reach out to one of us at the mission, and we'll be happy to sell a corporate table that comes with the opportunity to have your brand logo publicized, and you'll of course have your own reserved table for those who want to sit with you. So
awesome. Well, Taylor, we appreciate you being on this morning. Hey, we have a fun little segment here. I'm going to ask you a question about that in a minute, but before we get to that, is there just any final thing that you would like to make sure that our viewers here this morning know about everything going on?
Well, I just want to thank you all for having us and giving us this opportunity to share more about the Good Shepherd mission. We are a longstanding pillar of the community in terms of supporting those in need, and we hope to be able to do that for many years to come. As much as we wish we didn't need to, that's just a part of the way that the world works, and we are very passionate about our calling to help those in need. So we hope you can join us and help us out.
Awesome. Well, Taylor, we appreciate all the great work that you're doing. I'm going to ask you this, and if you don't have an answer for this, it's perfectly fine. We have a little segment here that Dr. Pressley and I started out of thin air one day. That's why we like this show. We come in like, I don't have anything written down. We just talk and have fun. Totally unscripted, but we always keep it fun and entertaining. But I'm going to ask you this morning, as our guest, part of our segment that we have is called Things That Make You Mad That Shouldn't Make You Mad. What is one thing that comes to your mind? Something that makes you angry that shouldn't make you angry.
Oh, man. I know people can't help this, but whenever you just chomp with your mouth open really loud and the chip, you can just hear every little crunch, to relate it to teeth. Sometimes even when people chew with their mouths closed, it's just so loud. So that's one of those like little nitpicky things that I just can't help. But
that's a good one. I'm making a list of these. I know that we talk all about good things and lifting people up, but again, things that make you mad that shouldn't make you mad, chomping food. There you go.
I should let it go, but it's just one of those things I can't.
That's all right. Well, Taylor, it has been such a blessing having you on this morning. Again, for more information, folks out there listening, they may be watching this on the replay as well. Even though we do it live, it is replayed and archived on 5 different social media platforms. But you can find more information at the gsmission.org. That's the THEGS mission.org. Taylor, thank you for all that you do. It's such a blessing having you on this morning.
Thank you for having me. Y'all have a wonderful day.
You as well. Once again, Taylor Morrison there, and that was a good one, man.
That was a good one.
It's a
I can relate to that.
Great interview, and I like what she said about things that make you mad that shouldn't make you mad. So we're going to step aside, take a break. We got 8 minutes before we sign off. Dr. Pressley got some patients that he's got to see. He's got to have patience. He's got patience. We've got patience. I hope you have patience. Stay with us. We'll be back in about a minute as we wrap up our show here. It's been a fun one this morning. We'll get to some of those shout-outs as well. Let us know you're out there. Type those comments right now and let us know where you're listening from and what you're thankful for today, and we will get to you. When we come back, stay with us. This is Good Morning Huntsville. We are live from our friends here with Dr. Pressley at Huntsville Family Dental. We'll be right back.
Dental is accepting new patients. Experienced dentists that are focused on the community and your family helps ensure a pleasant, anxiety-comforted dental experience. Only $49 for exam and x-rays for new cash patients. Feel at home at Huntsville Family Dental. From the friendly front office to the dedicated back chair, all your questions will be answered and you will leave with a smile and comfort knowing your dental needs have been addressed. Just smile. Call Huntsville Family Dental at 295-5437. That's 295-5437.
Here's the sports broadcast calendar brought to you by Huntsville Family Dental. Sam Houston baseball hosts UTSA tonight. Pregame at 6:15 p.m. First pitch at 6:30. Lady Hornets softball hosts Nacogdoches on Thursday. Pregame at 5:15 p.m. First pitch at 5:30. Hornet baseball travels to Nacogdoches on Thursday. Pregame at 6:45 p.m. First pitch at 7. Enjoy our broadcast coverage of these games at ksam1017.com. And that's your sports broadcast calendar brought to you by Huntsville Family Dental.
All right, friends, rocking and rolling. That little intro right there is called funk, man. All right, Dr. Pressley and I are going to start singing here in a minute. Send in your song requests. We'll get to those as we cheer you up here this morning. I heard you were pretty good on the karaoke. Is that right?
No, sir.
Well, Dr. Pressley, Rob Hipp here. Thanks for joining us live from Good Morning, here on Good Morning Huntsville from Huntsville Family Dental. 8:55 the time. We got about 5 more minutes, and we wanted to go over real quick. One, we're going to go over what is today the National Day of. We like to do this on every show now as well. And then also, we're going to ask you things that make you mad that shouldn't make you mad. I know, Dr. Pressley, if you got any of those, kind of keep them in the back of your mind. We'll get to those in a minute. Today is, I can't pronounce this, but it recognizes the sacrifices of the Puerto Rican Regiment of the Volunteer Infantry. It is National...
I know I'm going to mess this up.
You'd say it.
Borinconeers.
Borinconeers Day.
Yes.
That was pretty good, man. National. If we said that wrong, let us know. National Borinconeers Day. It's on April the 13th, the National Borinconeers Day. That's kind of...
Yeah, it flows off the tongue.
Yeah, it flows good, man. It's like fine wine. But it is a serious day, though. It recognizes the sacrifices of the Puerto Rican Regiment of the Volunteer Infantry. Today, that regiment is designated the 65th Infantry Regiment of the United States Army. And this is all from nationaldaycalendar.com. Congress first authorized a volunteer military presence in Puerto Rico the year after the island became a United States territory. That was all the way back in 1899. And so you go back there, and during the Korean War, the 65th adopted the nickname the Borinconeers, the name that honors the Tano Indians, the original inhabitants of Puerto Rico, and or the island of Borinquin. So pretty neat history there as we go back on the National Day calendar. How about this? Today is also National Make Lunch Count Day. There's a lot of, I'll be honest, man, I miss breakfast, and I've heard that that's bad. I don't ever eat breakfast.
That's the most important meal.
I don't know, man. When I eat breakfast, I get tired.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today's National Make Lunch Count Day, again here from National Day Calendar, according to a recent study commissioned by TGI Friday, so you know that it's legitimate when it comes from a big national restaurant chain. The majority of the U.S. workers suffer from FOLO. We always talk about YOLO, but you better get your FOLO. That is otherwise known as the fear of lunching out. Many workers eat their lunch at their desk twice a week, 73%, while 1/3 have lunch at their desk every day of the week. Don't fear lunching out any longer. Go out. It improves productivity when you get away from your desk, at least for 20 to 30 minutes. I know the managers out there won't like to hear that, but that is the truth. Get away from your desk for a little while and get out there and make lunch count. Here's one that I love, dude. What do you put with vanilla ice cream that is so good, especially when it's warm, that you put in there?
A brownie.
Oh, well, you messed me up, man. It's not a brownie, Doc. Come on, man. It's National Peach Cobbler Day, man. National Peach Cobbler Day. That's good, too, though.
Yeah, man.
National Peach Cobbler Day on April the 13th. It recognizes delicious dessert that originated during the 19th century. So if you're unable to make traditional suet puddings due to the lack of suitable ingredients and cooking equipment, the settlers instead covered a steward filling with a layer of uncooked plain biscuits or dumplings fitted together. When the dish is fully cooked, the surface has the appearance of a cobbled street. That is where peach cobbler came from. I never knew that, man.
I never knew that as well.
Never knew that. Hey, today is also, for those of you that like to mix up letters, It's National Scrabble Day. Are you a Scrabbler?
I'm not.
That's
I've been doing this thing Wordle. Have you heard of Wordle?
Yeah, the Wordle, yeah.
Yes.
You got addicted to that,
kinda
man.
fun.
Are you in the
Yeah.
middle of like doing like a dental procedure and you're like over there on the side doing some Wordle? No, I'm just kidding, man. I know you don't do that, man. Like, hold on one second, man. My tooth hurts. Hold on, I got to get it. Man, yes, 5 of 5. All right, I got it. I barely got in. Well, today's National Scrabble Day. Each year, the National Scrabble Day is on April the 13th, recognizes a game played around the world. It's originally named Lexico and then crisscross words. Alfred Mosher Butts eventually settled on the name Scrabble. The amateur artist and unemployed architect developed the word game in the midst of depression. It wasn't until 1948 that a final name change and a trademark that Butts finally began to produce that game. Kind of reminds me of the Monopoly story, the Parker brothers. You know, they were struggling, and then they invented a board game and became millionaires, and I'm sure this guy found it as well. Start thinking of a dental game that we can come up with, man.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'll try to help you market it, and then we can retire early, man. So, although I like my job, I know you like your job too, man. Finally, it's also National Thomas Jefferson Day today. I did not know this. National Thomas Jefferson Day each year, it honors the birth of the third president of the U.S. He was born on April the 13th, 1743. That was well before I was born, of course. Most known, primarily to offer the Declaration of Independence. Jefferson, a stalwart of democracy, while not much an orator, his pen cut quite a swath of ink through correspondence, documents, journals, and manuscript. How about this? Those who write tend to read. Jefferson, no difference. He had a library that contained over 6,500 volumes. So pretty cool stuff there as we go back and also a little bit of history on this day and the National Day of. Dr. Pressley, been a fun one today. It's 9 a.m. You got to get to work. I got to get back to work, man.
Yes, sir. It's about that time.
Final thoughts before we go today, man.
Appreciate you having us, Rob. We're here in the community to serve you guys. So if you hadn't had a cleaning, need an exam, you're in pain, anything, come by and we'll love to help you.
Want to remind you, please come by and see our good friends here, located right off 45, and go down Montgomery literally a hop, skip, and right off 45. You can visit them online. Please come by and see them. Tell them you heard about them right here on this show on Good Morning Huntsville. That website is HuntsvilleTXDental.com, HuntsvilleTXDental.com, and we can also call you guys.
Yes.
At, let me put down the number here.
295-5437.
295-5437. 936 is the area code. So go online, or you can call them right now. Schedule that appointment. Get in here and get your teeth clean. It's not that bad. Teeth clean is actually, it's relaxing once they get in there and do it, man. So, Dr. Pressley, God bless you, man. Been a fun one this morning.
Yes, sir.
Can't wait to be
Appreciate
back on, and we'll see if we'll be back next week with you. I know we haven't chatted about the next show yet, but of course we got a pipeline of them coming, so make sure that you follow us on social media, and we'll keep you up to date. Friends, as always, it's been a joy and a privilege. I want to remind you today to get out there and make a difference. Be positive. I know that there's so much going on in this world that can bring you down, but we live in such a blessed community today. If somebody cuts you off on the road, maybe you didn't get the right look when you went through the drive-through line, I'm telling you today, don't let things get to you. Instead, turn that around. Be a blessing to others. Our community deserves that, and we are blessed in this community with so many that already do that. So be a blessing today. And as I end every broadcast, I want to remind you this morning that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other, friends. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. Good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. We'll see you back tomorrow morning right here on this show live from Farmhouse Cafe. We'll see you.